Hi, it's Andy again. I'm sorry there's been kind of a delay on these podcasts. Clearly the last one kind of ended on a bad note. I have since my freak out last episode, I was evicted because I made a lot of noise. I trashed my apartment. There was some drama about like a thing that I left in my neighbor's mailbox because he was pounding at the door. He was pounding at the door telling me to stop, so I retaliated, and my actions were uncalled for, but the apartment complex would not listen, so I was evicted, and I am living with my parents once again. So that's that. So today I was thinking about taking things a little bit slowly. Talk about something that's a little bit... I know there's been a lot in news recently, with the Virginia shooting and the Donald Trump. But I want to talk about something that makes me comfortable, because I haven't been comfortable ever since the last podcast. I'm back on the booze. Honestly, I'm a little bit boozed out right now. Just got back from Chipotle. And I want to talk about something that makes me happy. So, this episode is a tribute to my favorite band of all time, Coldplay. And I will go through, this will be like a musical history of my favorite band, Coldplay. And we'll start with their debut album, Parachutes. Now, Parachutes, while I still love it, is probably one of my least favorite Coldplay albums. I think it is overrated. People say it is the underrated gem of their discography. I disagree. I believe that it is overrated, but it is still great. It has great tracks such as Sparks. I don't know if you could hear that, but that was Sparks, which is my favorite track on the album, I think. But yeah. I have probably the least to say about Parachutes because I hadn't really discovered the band by the time the album came out, and I wasn't really part of the hype. I jumped around the time that A Rush of Blood to the Head came out, which is their second album, and one of my personal favorites. It has many cool songs, many good songs such as Clocks, which is a song tides that I tried to swim against.
put me down upon my knees. Oh, I beg and please, singing, come out of things unsaid. Should have leveled up my head. Trouble that can be named. Tigers waiting to be tamed, singing, yeah.
Sorry, I kind of dozed off. I didn't realize I left it. But yeah, that's Clocks. They got other great tracks on the album, such as Green Eyes, which goes a little something like this.
Honey, you are a rock.
But the sign, the rush of blood to my head. Sorry, that's my dad. I moved in back with my parents, as I mentioned before, but a rush of blood to the man is one of their greatest, I'd say. But I believe that they one-upped themselves with their next album, X and Y, with good tracks such as X and Y.
Trying hard to speak and fighting with my weekend, driven to distract.
And Square One. X and Y isn't really an album for everyone, I'd say. It's a little bit more experimental. I'd say it's like their I'd say it's their equivalent to maybe like, what is it called? Magical Mystery Tour. If you're familiar with the Beatles. Yeah. But their next album is by far and away, their greatest. And that is Viva La Vida, or Death and All His Friends, which is what I consider their breakout hit of an album. You may know a little song called Yes.
I am not frustration, seem Lord lead me not into temptation.
Or by far one of their most played songs, Viva La Vida. What I said about Parachutes, I take back, because their next album, Milo Xyloto, is by far their worst. I would actually go out on a limb and say I fucking hate this album. It's fucking awful. Now, they had a lot of EPs and live albums in between, especially with the releases of their singles, Paradise, which you might know, and what's it called? Every waterfall. Yeah. They had a lot of EPs and singles released before Milo Xyloto. And I think they overreached a little bit. They wanted to go on a more R&B, pop, electronic vibe. With Milo, with songs like and Every Teardrop is a Waterfall, which is actually a song I don't mind, honestly. It's probably actually one of my favorite Coldplay songs. But the rest of this album is fucking ass, honestly. It's shit. It's actually beyond shit. It's beyond fucking just garbage. With songs like Up With the Birds.
Quiet. Start again, a little high.
Listen to that. Do you fucking hear it? Songs like Charlie Brown. Which, by the way, I fucking hate this song. Listen to how shitty it is. Listen to how shitty this fucking album sounds.
Took a car downtown where the lost boys meet. Took a car downtown and took what the afternoon.
They tried something new and I can respect them for it, but honestly, in my opinion, this is the most important opinion to me. I think it's fucking awful. Now, their sixth album, Ghost Stories, is a different story. A lot of people didn't like this album as much. A lot of people thought that this one was the disappointment. I personally think that this is probably their third best, behind Rush of Blood to the Head and Viva La Vida. Ghost Stories is a step in the right direction, with tracks such as Magic, which goes a little something like this.
When I'm with
And just the letter.
and
And A Sky Full of Stars. This song's kind of important to me because I had just listened to I just listened to ghost stories for the first time before me and Karen's honeymoon. I listened to it start to finish just the night before we left, and I don't know, it's like one of the only albums that I feel like kind of truly like captured what it feels like to be a married man, like no other album could, like no another album can. Now, some people have been hating on Coldplay recently, saying that they're a boring band, saying that that Chris looks like Rand Paul, which I agree with. And it's part of the reason why I'm voting for Rand Paul. They say that they sound like bands such as Oasis and a poppy pussy shit version of Blur, which is what my good friend Hugo called Coldplay the first time I met him, when I was wearing my Ghost Stories shirt. He went up to me and was like, "Hey, Damon Albarn," or as I like to call him, Demon Albarn, "you can rock harder than Chris and crew ever could." That is wrong. That is very wrong. Listen. People say that they sound like Radiohead. Listen to this stupid fucking song. Listen to this fucking stupid song and tell me that it sounds like... Does this sound like Coldplay to you? This fucking... Sounds like a fucking... It's got no definition to his voice. Sounds like a little fucking... Sounds like a fucking fire alarm. Some people say they sound like a pussy shit version of Moose. You know what I have to say to them? That's what I would like to call mad. Fucking haters. That's just all they are. They just fucking... The only band I'd say that kind of does the Coldplay almost as good as the Coldplay does it is Snow Patrol. That's a good band. I'm okay if you say that Snow Patrol kind of sounds like Coldplay. That does not bother me. So I'm a little bit drunk and sleepy, as you could probably tell. You know, it's like rambling on, this rambling kind of podcast style. I think I'm gonna hit the hay soon. Just remember that Viva La Vida is the best album ever written. Chris Martin is a genius. And Coldplay, forever, best band. Alright, I'm done. I'm done.